Good morning and happy Veterans Day. I'm Madison Carmouche. Today is November 11th and we are inching up to that 5 o'clock mark. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Megan, I know we talked about some rain, but I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either this morning. I had a long weekend and I'm getting ready for work and I forgot there was rain chances. Headed out to the door and I had to go back to get my umbrella. And that'll be the story for you guys this morning too. We have those morning chances for rain. As we look at satellite and radar, you can see as it's pushing through, really focusing on the more southeastern part of our area for right now. It'll continue to push through. So if you're heading into the more northerly states, you might be dry for the rest of the day. But let's take a look at those current temperatures. And that's where you can see across the board, we're really looking in that upper 50s, low 60s range. And we will continue to warm up into the upper 60s, with some places potentially seeing that 70-degree mark being hit today. Harlan, Middlesboro, Jonesville, and Jacksboro looking to be about 71 for their high today. And as you're going through the next couple of hours, that day planner has some clouds in the morning with those rain chances, and then we'll taper off into the afternoon, see nice sunny skies and then nice and clear skies as you're going into your evening and overnight hours. I'll have your ARH 7-day forecast coming up. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. Folks throughout the Commonwealth are honoring the nation's service members for this year's Veterans Day. Later today, during a celebration of patriotism, Governor Andy Beshear will honor the lives of 16 black veterans who served in the Civil War and in World War I. The veterans were buried in unmarked graves and will be recognized for the first time today at 3 p.m. at the St. Louis Cemetery in Louisville. Communities in Kentucky chose to have some Veterans Day celebrations early during the weekend. At the Cave Hill Cemetery in Louisville, volunteers placed flags at the gravestones of more than 6,000 veterans Saturday morning. The effort was organized by the nonprofit Flags for Vets. Founder Frederick Moore is a veteran himself and started the tradition more than 1 decade ago.
I heard that they didn't flag these graves for Veterans Day, and I thought that's something I can do.
The group placed flags at the graves of unknown soldiers to honor them as well. Volunteers said it was a moving experience and the least they could do. People in Western Kentucky also celebrated Veterans Day early this weekend. This year marked the second annual Horses for Heroes event in Henderson County. Organizers welcomed participants with free food, hay rides, games, and resources for first responders and their families. Tony Russell says he helped come up with the idea last year. He says he thought creating an event with horses for those who struggle, especially veterans with PTSD, could make a big difference.
It just helps them with their peace of mind and stuff, especially if anybody's got any anxiety or any PTSD or any of that kind of stuff, which is pretty common sometimes actually in those professions and with veterans as well. And everybody that's been here just loves it. They love the farm and the horses, and that really makes me happy that we're helping people.
People could also groom horses as a way to promote healing support in a farm environment. Pineville Mayor Scott Maiden is the 29th Senate District Senator-elect. Maiden was elected after a historic write-in race following the untimely death of Senator Johnny Turner, who held the seat since 2021. Maiden became the mayor of Pineville for the second time nearly 10 years ago with a revitalization project on his mind. Now that the project is in full swing, Maiden is moving up to Frankfort.
I've got more knowledge of the project than anybody because I've worked on it for 8 years, and I'm certainly going to see that project through, whether you know that I'm the mayor or the state senator. I think I can be a tremendous amount of help to them.
We will hear more from Pineville Mayor turned Senator-elect Scott Maiden at 7 this evening on Issues and Answers right here on WYMT with Steve Hensley. Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman called on the federal government to protect drivers from foreign interference. Coleman called on those in Washington to crack down on connected vehicles built in China. Concerns have been expressed about China's ability to exploit networks as well as other adversaries. In a letter to the Office of Information and Communications Technology Services, data showed vehicles from other countries could be gathered abroad. Here is what Kentucky's Attorney General said in a statement. Quote, "We can't risk the safety of Kentucky families or the future of our auto industry by allowing adversaries like China to place their potential high-tech spy equipment in our garages. We're calling on the federal government to take bold action to protect our data and our infrastructure from those who wish us harm." End quote. The vote for an ordinance targeting panhandling is set for today in Somerset. It would ban pedestrians from approaching vehicles. People could also get fined for crossing Somerset's busiest roads outside of crosswalks. Police say they've gotten complaints about people knocking on the windows of cars in the roadway. Breaking the rules could lead to fines of up to $1,000. Tonight's city council meeting is set for 6. The University of Kentucky's campus police department is implementing new safety measures following a shooting near North Campus this month. To enhance security, additional officers will patrol North Campus from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. with increased foot, bike, and car patrols. Temporary lighting will be added to Winslow Street, and security at the Cornerstone and Good Samaritan parking garages will be tightened, limiting access to permit holders and event attendees.
This is not going to be tolerated around our campus or on our campus. So we're taking a very aggressive approach to make sure that we keep our campus safe.
The changes took effect this past weekend. UKPD urges students and families to report any suspicious activity. The Lexington Fayette NAACP says they have received reports of racist text being sent to people in the state. The messages are similar to those that are being seen pop up throughout the country in recent days. Many references being picked to being a slave. Police with the University of Kentucky say they were notified of the messages popping up on college campuses, specifically other campuses in the Southeastern Conference.
We anticipated that it was probably coming. Shortly after we put out that bulletin to our staff, we started getting a report in. So we have had some of our students have received that message, and we are cooperating with the other schools in SEC as we investigate this.
The FBI Louisville Department says they are aware of the messages too, and they are in contact with the Justice Department and other federal authorities on the matter. An Atlanta USPS worker is being honored for driving 1 million miles without an accident. Local News Live correspondent Joshua Skinner met that driver to find out his secret.
Backing a trailer is an art form. And few know this art better than Lamar Powell.
Oh, it's a good job.
As a professional, Powell is a man of few words.
I'll move trailer from one spot to the next spot.
He's let his work do the talking for 44 years. What's the secret?
That's a good question.
While Powell might not reveal the secrets to longevity, the Postal Service is honoring him for driving 1 million miles as an employee without a single accident.
It's just amazing that you can accomplish that because there's always something that happens.
Todd Murphy is one of the managers of the distribution center.
It's incredibly rare.
He knows the secret.
He's like an owl. His head is on a pivot all the time looking for any hazards.
And what the neck can't access, mirrors can.
Oh, backing up, make sure you watch the traffic.
And there's a lot of that. What there won't be a lot of in the future is Powell.
1 more year, that's it.
Putting the brakes on 45 years.
That's it, that's long enough.
Less backing up, more looking forward to wherever those next miles lead.
That's a huge loss.
In Palmetto, Joshua Skinner, Atlanta News First.
Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we return, folks visited the Great American Ballpark to pay their respects to the legendary Charlie Hustle.
And we'll be watching as those temperatures are dropping and getting closer to normal. More coming up.